Welcome to this deep dive all about using guest blogging to really get your work out there.
Yeah.
We're diving into some advice from Mihigo Anaja.
Okay.
He's an author who's clearly mastered this whole getting his work seen thing.
Right.
He's written 9 books, over 200 computer programs, and built platforms like GJ Shop and Kinbook.
Wow.
So clearly he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. What I find interesting is how his advice goes beyond just getting published on other blogs.
Right.
It's talking about building a network, establishing yourself as that reliable expert. It's about playing the long game.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics.
Okay.
He starts with choosing the right platforms for guest blogging.
Yeah.
And it's not as simple as finding the most popular blogs out there.
Right. He stresses the importance of understanding each blog's style and target audience.
Yeah.
You know, it's about finding blogs that align with your own work and the audience you want to reach. Like, if you're pitching a tech blog known for detailed code examples, you're going to want to showcase your technical skills and offer a similar level of depth in your proposed content.
Yeah.
It's that whole blend in before you stand out strategy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're essentially speaking their language from the get-go.
Exactly. Now, once you've identified those potential blogs, you need to craft a killer pitch.
Okay.
Think of it as selling your expertise to the blog owner.
So what makes a pitch stand out in a sea of submissions?
Conciseness, clarity, and showing you've done your homework.
Yeah.
Blog owners are busy people. They don't have time to wade through, a novel.
Right.
Get straight to the point, What do you want to write about?
Right.
Why would their audience find this valuable?
I'm guessing you should highlight your own expertise too, right?
Absolutely.
Why are you the right person to write this particular guest post?
Showcase those credentials. Mention any relevant experience or publications you have.
Yeah.
Even better if you can tie your pitch back to specific posts on their blog that you found insightful. It shows you're genuinely interested in their platform and you're not just spamming every blog under the sun.
It's about building that relationship even from that very first email.
Exactly. It shows you're serious about contributing to their community.
Okay.
And let's say your pitch gets accepted. Congratulations.
Oh.
But the real work begins now.
Yeah.
You need to craft that killer guest post.
And Mihigo Anaja really emphasizes that high-quality content.
He goes beyond the typical content is cake spiel.
Yeah.
He talks about providing real value to the reader. What are those key takeaways you want your readers to walk away with?
Right.
What actionable advice can you offer that they can implement immediately?
So it can't just be a rehash of information that's already out there.
Right.
It needs to be fresh, insightful, and most importantly, useful to the reader.
Yeah.
Did he offer any specific examples of tactics that worked well for him?
He did. One thing that stood out to me was using personal anecdotes to illustrate those complex concepts.
Okay.
Share your own experiences, the challenges you face, the lessons you've learned.
Right.
He says those stories are what make your content relatable and memorable.
That's a great point. People connect with stories.
Yeah.
It makes the information more engaging and easier to digest. So you've poured your heart and soul into this amazing guest post. It's published. People are reading it. What's next?
Well, this is where a lot of people drop the ball.
Yeah.
They think publishing the post is the end of the story.
Right.
But Mihigo stresses that it's just the beginning.
Okay.
You need to promote that post on your own social media channels.
Yeah.
Engage with comments. Keep that conversation going.
It's like hosting a party.
Exactly.
You don't just invite people and then disappear.
Right.
You mingle, you chat, you make sure everyone's having a good time.
Exactly. And who knows, you might even connect with some interesting new people at your guest blog party.
Right.
Which brings us to another crucial point, that Mihigo emphasizes the networking aspect of guest blogging.
It's not just about getting your content out there.
Yep.
It's about building those relationships with other bloggers and influencers in your field.
Right. These relationships can lead to all sorts of amazing opportunities.
Like what?
Think collaborations, interviews, even speaking engagements.
Wow.
It's like this ripple effect. One guest post can lead to another and another. And before you know it, you've built this whole network of connections.
And a reputation as a go-to expert in your niche.
Precisely.
So we've talked about crafting a killer pitch and writing valuable content. But what about that little author bio
Ah, yes.
at the end of the post?
Yes.
What's Mihigo's take on that?
He believes it's crucial for driving traffic back to your own platforms.
Right.
A well-crafted bio acts as a bridge between your guest post and your larger body of work.
It's your chance to make that first impression.
Yeah.
Tell readers who you are and what you're all about in a concise and compelling way.
Think of it as your elevator pitch.
Yeah.
You've got limited space to make a big impact, so choose your words carefully. Highlight your key accomplishments. Mention your most relevant projects.
Yeah.
And most importantly, include a clear call to action.
Tell people where they can find more of your work.
Exactly.
Your website, your social media, your latest book. Make it easy for them to connect with you.
That little bio can turn casual readers into loyal fans.
Wow.
But you gotta tell them where to find you.
So to recap, we've covered choosing the right platforms, crafting an effective pitch writing, valuable content, promoting your post, and leveraging that author bio.
It's a lot.
Anything else we should know before we move on?
Yes, actually, Mihigo has a lot to say about measuring your success.
Okay, let's dive into that after a quick word from our sponsors.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about choosing those right platforms, crafting that killer pitch.
Right.
But there's another piece of the puzzle that Mihigo emphasizes.
Okay.
And it's something a lot of people overlook.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's about truly understanding your audience.
Okay.
You know, before you even think about pitching to a blog, you need to really dig deep and figure out who they're talking to.
Right.
What are their interests? What are their pain points?
Yeah.
What kind of content resonates with them?
That makes sense. It's about tailoring your message to that specific audience of each blog.
Right.
You wouldn't use the same tone and style
Exactly.
when talking to a group of college students.
Yeah. As you would when presenting to a board of executives.
Exactly. Imagine sending a super formal academic article to a blog known for its lighthearted conversational style.
Yeah.
It's just not going to fly. You need to make sure your content feels like it belongs on that blog.
Right.
Like it's a natural extension of their existing content.
So you're saying it's not just about finding blogs in your niche.
Right.
It's about finding blogs that speak to your specific target audience.
Precisely.
Within that niche.
And this ties back to the importance of doing your research before you even start pitching.
Okay.
Mihigo recommends, spending time reading through the blog's archives, paying attention to their most popular posts,
Yeah.
analyzing their social media engagement.
Okay.
This will give you those valuable insights into their audience's preferences.
So let's say you've done your homework. You found the perfect blog. You understand their audience inside and out. Now it's time to craft that pitch. What's Mihigo's secret sauce for grabbing a blog owner's attention?
He actually offers a few really interesting tips.
Okay.
First, he recommends personalizing your pitch.
Okay.
Mention something specific you enjoyed about their blog or a particular post that resonated with you.
Right.
This shows you're not just mass emailing every blog under the sun.
It's like showing up at a party and actually knowing the host.
Exactly.
It makes a much better impression than just wandering in off the street.
Exactly. And second, he suggests offering multiple topic ideas in your pitch.
Okay.
This gives the blog owner some choices.
Yeah.
And shows that you're flexible and willing to work with them.
That's smart. It also increases your chances of having at least one topic that piques their interest. Right. And lastly, he emphasizes the importance of highlighting your unique perspective or expertise in your pitch.
Okay.
What can you offer that other writers can't? What makes your voice stand out?
So it's not just about demonstrating your knowledge, it's about showcasing your personality and what makes you different.
Absolutely. Remember, blog owners are looking for those fresh perspectives, those engaging voices.
Right.
They want to publish content that will captivate their readers and keep them coming back for more.
And this ties back to Mihigo's advice about infusing your personality into your writing.
Yes.
Sharing your own experiences, telling those stories that resonate with readers.
Exactly. Now, let's say your pitch gets accepted. You've written an amazing guest post and it's live on the blog.
Yeah.
What happens next? A lot of people just sit back and wait for the traffic to roll in.
But I'm guessing Mihigo has a more proactive approach.
He does. He talks about the importance of promoting your guest post and engaging with your audience.
Okay.
He suggests sharing the post on all your social media channels, tagging the blog owner, responding to comments.
It's about treating that guest post as an extension of your own platform.
Exactly. And this is where having a strong author bio comes into play.
Right. We talked about the importance of crafting a compelling bio earlier.
Well, it's not just about having a bio. It's about making sure that bio works hard for you.
Yes.
Mihigo emphasizes the importance of including a clear call to action in your bio.
Right.
Tell people what you want them to do after reading your post.
Mm-hmm.
Visit your website, follow you on social media, sign up for your newsletter. Be explicit.
Don't be afraid to be a little bossy in your bio.
Exactly. This is your chance to turn those casual readers into loyal followers.
Okay.
But even beyond that, he stresses the importance of nurturing that relationship you've built with the blog owner.
It's not just a transactional exchange.
Right.
It's about building a genuine connection.
Right. Mihigo suggests sending a thank you note to the blog owner after your post is published.
Okay.
Sharing any positive feedback you've received and staying in touch even after the post is live.
It's about building that network of collaborators and supporters in your field.
Exactly. And these relationships can lead to all sorts of amazing opportunities.
Such as?
Guest appearances on podcasts, invitations to speak at conferences, even co-authoring a book.
Wow.
It's like a ripple effect. One guest post can lead to so much more.
It really can.
But it all starts with that initial investment of time and effort you have to be willing to put in the work to find the right platforms, craft those compelling pitches, and write valuable content.
It sounds like a lot of work. Is it really worth all the effort?
Mihigo certainly thinks so. So he argues that guest blogging is one of the most effective ways to build your brand, expand your network, and position yourself as a thought leader in your field.
But he also cautions against spreading yourself too thin, right?
That's right. He talks about the importance of being strategic with your guest blogging efforts.
Yeah.
Don't just blindly pitch to any and every blog that will have you
Right.
focus on quality over quantity.
Choose a few key platforms that align with your goals and target audience, and really pour your energy into those relationships.
Exactly. And this brings us to another important point, measuring your success.
Okay, let's talk about that. How do you know if your guest blogging efforts are actually paying off?
Mihigo emphasizes the importance of tracking your results and using data to inform your strategy.
So it's not just about getting your name out there, it's about making sure you're reaching the right people and achieving your goals.
Precisely. You need to know what's working and what's not, so you can adjust your approach accordingly.
Oh.
He recommends tracking things like website traffic, social media engagement, and lead generation.
That makes sense. It's about being data-driven and constantly refining your strategy.
Exactly. And this is where having a solid understanding of online marketing tools comes in handy.
Okay, let's get into that. What kind of tools does Mihigo recommend?
Well, he mentions a few specific tools that he finds particularly helpful,
Okay.
like Google Analytics for tracking website traffic and social media analytics platforms for measuring engagement.
So he's not just talking about the theory of guest blogging. He's actually providing practical advice and tools that people can use.
Exactly. He wants to empower people to take action and see real results from their efforts.
That's fantastic. And speaking of taking action, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've talked about choosing the right platforms, crafting compelling pitches, writing valuable content, promoting your post, and even measuring your success.
Yes.
But there's one last piece of advice that I think is worth highlighting before we wrap up.
Okay, I'm all ears. What is it? Mihigo encourages people to see guest blogging as a long-term investment in their career or business.
Okay.
It's not a quick fix. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
It takes time to build those relationships, establish your credibility, and see those tangible results.
Yeah.
But he assures us that the rewards are well worth the effort.
So it's about being patient, persistent, and staying focused on your goals.
Exactly. And remember, the journey itself can be incredibly rewarding. You'll connect with new people, learn new things, and gain valuable experience along the way.
That's a great point. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey.
Exactly.
And speaking of journeys, we're going to move right along to the final part of this deep dive. Welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing how guest blogging is that long-term investment, not a quick fix.
Right. And one thing Mihigo really emphasizes is the importance of diversifying your efforts.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Don't limit yourself to just one or two platforms.
Okay.
Branch out, explore different blogs, websites, online publications that reach your target audience.
Okay, but wouldn't that make it harder to track your results and, manage your time effectively?
That's a valid concern, and Mihigo addresses that.
Okay.
He suggests you start small and gradually expand your reach.
Okay.
Begin by focusing on a few key platforms, and once you've established a presence there,
Yeah.
you can start exploring new opportunities.
So it's about finding that balance between focusing your efforts and expanding your reach strategically.
Exactly. And as you diversify your guest blogging efforts, it's crucial to keep an eye on your goals. Right.
Why are you guest blogging in the first place? Is it to drive traffic to your website, generate leads, build brand awareness?
Right. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of pitching and writing, but you need to make sure your efforts are aligned with your overall objectives.
Absolutely. And that's where measuring your success comes in.
Okay.
Mihigo's a big advocate for using data to track your progress and make those informed decisions.
So how do you actually measure the success of your guest blogging efforts?
Well, it depends on your goals.
Okay.
If you're aiming to drive traffic to your website,
Yeah.
you can track referral traffic from your guest posts using tools like Google Analytics.
And what about if you're focused on generating leads or building brand awareness?
For lead generation, you can track the number of signups or inquiries that come from your guest posts.
Okay.
And for brand awareness, you can monitor things like social media mentions, brand searches, overall website traffic.
So it's about using those right metrics to measure your progress and making adjustments to your strategy as needed. Precisely. And Mihigo stresses the importance of being patient and persistent.
Yeah,
Guest blogging isn't a magic bullet.
right.
It takes time and consistent effort to see results.
But if you stick with it, it can be an incredibly powerful tool for building your brand and reaching new audiences.
Absolutely. And beyond those tangible benefits, guest blogging can also be a rewarding experience in itself.
In what way?
You'll connect with new people, learn new things, and gain valuable insights into your industry.
It's like joining a community of like-minded individuals who share your passion and expertise.
Exactly. And that sense of community and shared purpose can be incredibly motivating and inspiring.
So to sum it all up, Mihigo ER Anaja's advice on guest blogging boils down to a few key principles.
Okay.
Choose the right platforms,
Mhm.
craft compelling pitches, write valuable content, promote your posts, nurture your relationships, diversify your efforts, and measure your success.
And perhaps most importantly, be patient, persistent, and enjoy the journey.
Great advice. So what does all of this mean for you, our listener? What blogs are already reaching your target audience? Could you be the expert voice they need to hear?
Think about it. What unique knowledge or experiences can you share with the world? What value can you offer to others through your writing?
And remember, you don't have to be a seasoned author or influencer to start guest blogging.
Nope.
Everyone has something valuable to contribute.
Absolutely. So take that first step. Reach out to a blog that resonates with you and share your expertise with the world.
Until our next deep dive, keep those guest post ideas flowing.